thought when you met your person, it would be so clear to me, this is my soulmate. And we didn't have that. And so I was like, I think it's best for us to break up.
How long were you dating multiple guys at once?
Okay.
Was it 3 people at once? Or how? Okay.
And on top of that, I said that I just wanted to be friends.
What was it like to have your water break?
Every so often, it was just like a gush. Honestly, I could do that a million times.
Your water breaking felt good.
It was like the craziest, most satisfying feeling.
She accidentally said I love you first. I dropped her off at her house.
Bye, love you.
Yeah, she just said, bye, I love you.
Never mind.
Today on Unplanned, we sat down with the Quist family. Courtney and Alex blew up on TikTok. They're best known for their hilarious content on marriage and parenting, but you probably didn't know they got married just 9 months after they met, or that in that time, their relationship almost didn't make it. We talk about meeting on a dating app, why Courtney was so afraid of giving birth, and how she avoided getting induced, all on today's episode. Courtney and Alex Quist, welcome to Unplanned.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
I feel like we have a lot of fun things to talk about. You guys are new parents. I think your relationship story is so interesting too. You got married, I think, 9 months after you met for the first time.
9 months on the dot.
Yeah.
With things moving so fast, was there ever a moment of like, I hope this is the right decision?
Yeah,
you tell them that.
We broke up for about 3 days because I thought when you met your person, there was going to be this moment where I was like, this is my soulmate.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that. And so I was like, since we haven't had that, like, I think it's best for us to break up. We broke up for 3 days. And then in those 3 days, I was like, never mind, I can't picture my life without you. Sometimes I feel like you need to break up in order to realize what you didn't have, or like, I don't know, what you don't.
How did you break up? Like, I feel like that's such a scary thing to tell someone, I'm breaking up with you. Did you do it in person? Did you do it over text?
I actually kind of made her do it a little bit. So it had been maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and she just kept on saying, like, I just don't have peace. I just don't have peace about the relationship, and I don't know what it is. You're praying for peace. And so at one point you're just like, hey, like, I think maybe let's just give this a try for a little bit longer. But like, if the Lord doesn't give me peace, we should break up. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to walk on eggshells for 2 weeks just waiting for you to break up with me. And
we were both crying because neither one of us actually wanted to break up. But I was like, what's the point of continuing to do this if we don't know if, I don't know. I thought you had one person. That's what I thought for so long. And I was like, no. I was like, it would be so clear to me if you were my soulmate. And I don't know. It only took 3 days for me to realize. I was like, never mind. I don't want to picture my life without you.
Were you dating him with the intention of marriage? So you thought you should feel a stronger, like, aha moment than you did?
Our story is just like so complicated. Because we met on a dating app, and then we immediately hopped on a call, and then the next day we met.
But before we even met, so that night that we hopped on a phone call too, I couldn't sleep. I literally woke up at 1 a.m. and I just started journaling and praying. And like, I saved that journal entry. In there, I was like, I don't even know what this girl's last name is, but Courtney Quist has a good ring to it. And I was like, you know what, this would be really cool if I read this on our wedding day. And he did. But, so like, I had a really good feeling literally just from one phone call.
Yeah, and then the next day we met, and then we just became friends, and then it got complicated because we were like, are we friends? Are we not friends? And then he friend zoned me, and then I got mad, and then he took a selfie after he friend zoned me.
Yeah, I still have that picture.
I think this will be really funny to share one day.
I thought the video you guys posted on TikTok was hilarious, that we listen and we don't judge, because not only were you dating him, but you were dating other guys at the same time.
This is true.
How long were you dating multiple guys at once?
I got roasted so hard on that video. And can we just bring us back 30 years where people would go on dates with multiple people at the exact same time, and then you become exclusive with one. And so that's sort of what it was, I was going on dates with multiple people.
Abby did that too. It's all good.
I did that too. But I was destroyed. People were like, oh my gosh, she was cheating on him. Wait, like, you're going to get divorced, all this stuff. And I was like, bring it back 30 years when that was a normal thing to just go on dates with normal people, or, just feel it out. And so that was actually really nice because I didn't go through that like crazy hyper fixation. Like, I wasn't obsessed with him because I was like, if he doesn't text me back, I have a couple other people.
You got a lineup. Was it 3 people at once, or how? Okay.
Yeah, I was just casually going on dates. It wasn't like we were not invested. I had never kissed any of them.
There's no exclusive conversation.
No, we were just talking. Yeah, and
on top of that, I said that I just wanted to be friends.
Yes.
I know that's not the best place for someone to be on a dating app, but I had just moved to Nashville. We literally met a week and a half after I moved there.
Okay.
But it was during the summer when I wasn't working, and so I was like, how am I going to meet people?
Both of our wives seem to have, like, dated a little bit, gotten a feel for how things were. I never experienced that. Did you ever experience taking different girls on dates?
I mean, like, if I ever did go on like another date with another gal, like it was never where like I was dating someone else at the same time, I guess.
Yeah,
it was
or maybe
more or
not
less
dating, but just taking, like, did you ever take one girl out on a date 1 week and then a couple weeks later it's like, maybe I'll ask this girl out on a date?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, see,
We
like,
never did that, but also, Matt, we were in high school. Like, it was like the beginning of this type of thing.
yeah. Because I think that's really good. Like, I think if you've defined the relationship and you've said, oh, like we are exclusive, and then you're going on other dates, I think that's obviously a problem. There's nothing wrong with going on a date with somebody and then 2 weeks later going on a date with somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that.
I actually really like that too, because we listened to like how you guys met and how you were talking about how, like this exact situation, like when you were moving, you had like your other, they're not even boyfriends, but people you've gone on dates with helping you move. This actually reminds me of a rule my parents had for me when I grew up. I would say yes to first dates all the time because I was like, oh, I just want to like see, like, let's go get soup together or whatever. And it was like really fun and lighthearted. But then I remember there was a time where I was like, okay, well, I had gone on a couple dates with like different guys, and it was like coming time for homecoming. This is also like, we were obviously in high school, really low stakes. And one of the boys was like, I'm going to ask you to homecoming. And then this other guy literally I knew he was coming to my house that night to ask me to homecoming. And I was like, Mom, I don't know what to say because so-and-so is going to ask me. And I'm going to say yes to him. I don't know what to say to him. She's like, well, no one's allowed to take a reservation on you. If he was going to ask you, then he should have asked you. Like, if you want to go with him, then say yes. If you don't want to go with him, then don't say yes. But like, don't do it because you're waiting for somebody else. Dating is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's like I don't know. I get on my soapbox about dating nowadays because I have single friends now that are like telling me about what the dating scene is like, and it's like it's grim, it's scary, it's not fun. I'm like, that just makes me so sad. I wish dating could be more romantic again.
Yeah.
I just got on my soapbox right there. But that was a funny story. Wait, you should tell the story about the moving situation.
Oh, man. Well, it was just, I don't know.
This was only 3 days after I met you, too.
That was the other thing. Yeah. I don't think people realized. I think they thought that we were dating for months.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was I was just casually, I wanted to get married. I finally was just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I just want to go on dates. I just want to like meet people. And so basically anytime anyone would ask me out, I'm just like, I'm just going to go.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. And so I met him, and then 3 days later, I just happened to be moving 5 minutes away from his apartment.
Yeah, you were like 30 minutes away too, so it would have been hard to date, but yeah, you're moving 5 minutes down the road.
I don't know, and then all these people just kept asking, oh, do you need help? And I was like, actually, I do. I'm in a whole new city. I don't know anyone. I would absolutely love it. And so it was a little awkward to have multiple men. I did think about this at one point. I was like, what if they talk to each other? Which did not happen.
I had no idea that you had ever gone on a date with any of those guys.
There was never a conversation of like, oh, what's up? What's your name? Oh, I'm Steve.
How do you know her?
How do you know Courtney? Oh, we've been going on dates.
I think they asked, and you just said social media. That's how we met.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Was the social media that you met Hinge?
Yes.
You met all these guys through Hinge?
Honestly, at some point, I'm like, Hinge, sponsor us. Like, please.
Actually, that's your love story is because of Hinge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This past year, I started trying to run more, and I hate running. To make it a little bit easier, I started listening to audiobooks on Audible, and it really helped me not only like make my body more physically fit, but improve my mind as well.
What genre are you listening to?
Business books.
Okay, well then get out of here because we're here to talk about Audible romance, you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yes, all the ladies know. We love a little romance. It's like everything you love in watching your favorite rom-coms, but like on the go, listening in your ears. It's really special.
Maybe I should try that. Maybe that'll make me run faster. I don't know.
They talk about romanticizing your life. I feel like this is the way to romanticize any task you have to do during your day because Audible Romance Collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to romance you're into, you can't be pinned down. Here's your invitation to have it all with Audible Romance. Some people fancy a dalliance with a duke. Or perhaps a sexy billionaire.
What is a dalliance? I don't even know what that word is.
Look it up, Matt.
Okay.
Find a book boyfriend in the city and another on the hockey field. Or if nothing on this earth satisfies you, you can always find love in another realm. Let your mind go where it will with that one, Matt.
Wow.
Modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood. The latest romantic series from Sarah J. Maas, Rebecca Yarros, and Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander, plus all the really steamy stuff. Ooh, Okay. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/unplanned.
What did you guys talk about on this Hinge call?
I don't even know.
It was hours.
It was hours?
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Was it like a video call or just audio only?
I think just audio. Yeah, he was in, and then I think you were going dancing or something that night.
I actually just got done. Like I tried salsa dancing for the first time. Just, just trying to get out and do things and meet people and stuff because I didn't know anybody in Nashville. And
I think it's so rare when you meet someone that the conversation never dies. Like you could talk about anything. We could talk about carpet. We could talk about whatever. And it's just, that's kind of how it was with Alex. And I was like, if I do not marry this man, he's at least going to be my best friend probably for the rest of my life. Because we could talk about anything. It was the best.
That's really sweet.
That brings me back to when Abby and I first met, and we would have the longest conversations because we were long distance. Because I was like you, I was like waiting for this like cinematic like moment you see in a movie, and that's just not real life. Like Hollywood isn't real life. But I was like, I really like this person, and like we can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. And so that's like kind of what made me realize.
You know what I was thinking when you brought that up earlier, how like couples will be like, oh yeah, I remember when I first laid eyes on her, she was the only woman in the room. I knew in that moment. The people I hear that from the most is usually people that have been married a really long time. Like think about the grandpas and grandmas. And I think what happens, because it started to happen to me too.
Yeah.
The longer you're married, the more you romanticize that moment because you've grown so close together that you like convince yourself that you knew in that moment and that you love them with the same intensity that you love them now. Maybe it's like not necessarily true, but you just look back on your roots so fondly that you're like, oh yeah, in that very moment, like you realize how special it is in hindsight.
100%.
And so then it's
I think you're right.
Yeah, and then you like kind of become soulmates, but it's because you chose and you worked for it.
No, I think you're right because people like I've heard a lot of older couples tell that
like
similar
that's
story.
how my grandpa talked about my grandma.
And they didn't have social media. They didn't have iPhones to like document all this stuff. And the people that I talk to now, like people like yourselves who are like so happy, so in love, really happy couples, oftentimes there's like situations in the relationship like breaking up or like not knowing what's going on. Yeah, and it's just and so I think it's like really cool for people who are currently in that stage of like looking for their person to know, hey, for most people it's not going to be this like movie moment, and I think that's really like that's encouraging for those people.
And it's dangerous to have that mindset too, because if you're thinking, oh, like this is the one, you're just perfect, the instant they see some flaws, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, was I wrong? Is this not the one?
Exactly.
And so realizing that it's a choice, I love you for who you are, flaws and all, and I'm going to make the choice to love you each day. Like that just makes all the difference in the world.
That was the biggest thing for me actually, was learning that love is a choice. Because again, I thought that there was just, I don't know, I thought angels are going to sing or something, that it was going to be like, this is the one for you. This is the soulmate. And so when we broke up, I had a pro and con list because everybody has flaws. I thought I was going to find someone who didn't have any flaws, and then he was just going to be so perfect.
I still want to know what this con list was. I'm a little curious.
But I wrote out like pros and cons, and it was just like, I don't know, somebody said, yeah, love is a choice. Like, is this someone that you could choose to live with for the rest of your life? And I'm like, honestly, yes. Like, I don't know. And so I think when I chose you, despite any, I don't know, just knowing that you weren't perfect and that you did have flaws, and I chose you anyway, I think every day, I don't know, I'm just like, okay, like I chose this person to spend with for the rest of my life, so that in 2 years when I do start to see your flaws, because we were in the honeymoon phase, despite your flaws, I chose you.
How long did the honeymoon phase last for you guys?
I think we're still.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we're still in it. Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you guys met, it's 2025. You guys met in the year
2023?
No, 2022. And then we got married in 2023.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we expedited. We tried to do this as fast as possible.
That is fast. Because I'm like, our son, you guys met in 2022 and now you're married with a kid. Like, we had a baby in 2022. Like, it kind of puts into perspective.
Oh, yeah. He's as old as your relationship.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. That's,
He's a big kid.
Our son is as old as your relationship.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But you guys still, like, you actually feel 3 years later, you feel that honeymoon energy still.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's a lot harder to go out on dates and stuff now that we have a kid. Yes. But I mean, I don't know. I think the love is still just as strong as it was, right? Yeah. I mean, I still love you.
I love marriage. I I don't know. I'm so pro marriage. I'm like, if you guys have been dating and you love each other, I'm like, just get married, which probably isn't for everybody. But for me, I'm like, it's the best. I don't know. I'm in a season right now where all of our friends are either getting married or having babies. And I'm just like, it's the best.
That's so fun.
It is so much fun. Okay, wait, I want to get the timeline straight. So you guys got married in 2022. How old were you at the time? How old are you now?
I gotta do some math. I'm 29.
You're 29?
Yeah, I turned 29.
Yeah, you turned 29 in a couple days.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Am I the only one that like doesn't remember how old they are?
No, I was talking about this last night.
Yeah.
I don't count anymore.
I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know what? We went to buy alcohol one day and the woman came up to us because we do look pretty young.
Yeah.
And the woman came up and she was like, how old are you? And I was like, and so I completely froze. I could not remember. And it made us look so suspicious. I was like, this woman thinks I have a fake ID. Guaranteed.
Okay, wait. So, yeah, you guys started dating in 2022, got married 9 months later. How long did you guys date before you got engaged?
Let's see. We met July 1st, and then we got married. Or no, we got engaged December 17th. So I don't know what that math is.
I
It
don't
was
know
like
either.
5 months.
something like that.
don't know,
Yeah,
like
but we
that.
didn't start dating right away because again,
Because he friend zoned.
friend zoned her.
Okay, let's talk about that. Friend
Yeah,
zoner.
so we went on a date, but it was like really casual, and so we just started hanging out a lot. Didn't put a label on it or anything.
Immediately became best friends. Like,
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was a long period of time where we hung out every single day.
Every single day. Well, I was teaching, and so it was the summer, so I had a lot of time.
I know you guys said you could like talk about anything and everything when you guys first started getting together. Was there a certain topic of conversation that was just like really fun for you guys to talk about, or was there just like something specific that really interested you both in each other?
Honestly, we don't even have that much in common. That was
really
one
don't.
thing that was like kind of stressing her out. It's like, I feel like we have nothing in common. Like,
Yeah, we could talk about everything
Yeah.
because we have different interests. So I could tell him about everything that I'm interested in, and he can talk about all things sports and whatnot.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We just talked about everything, but it came to a point where we were literally hanging out every single day for basically 4 weeks straight. That we had to have the define the relationship talk, and
A little DTR.
yeah, I don't know. I just felt conviction that like, hey, you're not supposed to have a girlfriend right now. Like you need to meet friends.
At this
Yeah.
point, had you guys kissed or anything?
No.
So there's nothing romantic.
hadn't
You were literally
kissed?
just
Nothing
friends.
romantic.
No, not even.
He
Did
waited
you want to?
I mean, I
How
was
did you not kiss
I
her?
was
Holy
very
cow.
attracted to her, and like
He was slow.
I knew that like I wanted to date her, but again, like I just had such a strong conviction that I was supposed to wait, and so I probably pushed the boundary a little bit with the friendship because I'd flirt with her and stuff because I was interested, which is why it makes sense. She was like, okay, we need to have a talk here
Yeah,
because
I
you're
needed to know.
flirting
I was
a lot.
like, do I go out with Billy or like, are we a thing? I made
Yeah.
up that name.
Yeah. And so basically she just told me, she's like, okay, like you either need to date me or you need to close that door and we're just going to be friends. But
I don't leave doors cracked.
yeah, but once the door's shut, like she's like, I can't get you out of the friend zone. She's done it before and it didn't work, where you just have that mindset of looking at somebody as a friend and you couldn't get over that. And so I was terrified.
Recently, I got into a big cereal kick. Something from my childhood just sparked this idea of like, what if I started eating cereal again? And
You
that
had a
is
big
when
bowl last night at like literally 2 a.m.
I ate Magic Spoon last night at 2 a.m. Recently, I've been eating the Frosted cereal. It is fantastic.
See, no one's really talking about that one.
Yeah, that one, it hits.
If
It
you get your
reminds me of
hands
my
on it.
childhood. Magic Spoon makes high protein, zero sugar cereal and treats reinvented from your childhood. Every serving of Magic Spoon's high protein cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs.
I can say from my experience, eating a bowl of Magic Spoon versus another cereal, I'm way more full. It satiates my
Yes.
hunger so much more.
And it's very high quality. They come in nostalgic flavors like fruity, cocoa, and frosted. Personally, I would probably rank those fruity, then frosted, then cocoa, but I'm weird. I don't like chocolate.
They also have high protein treats that are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. They're really great. We have tried multiple flavors of those, and our kids love them as well. They come in mouth-watering flavors like marshmallow, chocolate, peanut butter, and dark chocolate. Both are great on the go, pre or post-workout, or as a midnight snack.
So get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/unplanned, or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/unplanned for $5 off.
So I wasn't going to do this whole, like, I don't know, like we're
situationship?
Yes,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do that. So I was like, the door is open or it's shut. It's not cracked. And
Which
so I
was
was like,
fair.
make your decision.
Which was fair.
I'm
but
still shocked at the fact that you guys were together for like a month and didn't even kiss once. Because I kissed Abby on the first date. Like, did you make it a rule? Like, I'm not going to kiss someone
Well, because it
unless
wasn't framed as a date.
unless we're officially dating. Like, was that a rule you had? Or
Well, again, it was just my own personal conviction to
Yeah.
where like, hey, don't date her. You just need to be friends. And that actually really helped me build a stronger friendship with her. And
I
like
agree.
just viewing her as my best friend before any like, yes, I found her physically attractive, but before, that stuff just started boiling over into
And it was
more
nice.
than just friends.
It was nice for me too, because when you like someone and you're dating them, sometimes like you put on this front, like you need to wear makeup, you need to be all ready. And when he said the door was shut, makeup went off, the sweats came on, and I was like 100%, I was like, okay, like you are my bud. And so there was no filter, no nothing. And so he really got to meet the true, authentic Courtney.
Which is what I wanted too.
Yeah.
That was great.
That is, yeah.
Oh, so when you're like, you either shut the door or it's open, you shut it.
Yeah, so it was an hour-long conversation. It was a tough one, but at the end, I was like, okay, well, I feel like the Lord wants me to shut it, so we're gonna shut it. But if He wants to open it, He'll open it back up. And she
I
got
said
mad
nope.
at me when I said that.
I was
but-
like, when the door is shut, the door is shut.
Yeah.
That is it.
and then how many days or weeks was it that you decided that you actually wanted to
it was
date?
probably a good maybe 3-4 weeks later where I was like,
On a random day, he goes, I want you to be my girlfriend. I was like, I'm so sorry. We just went from friend zone. Do you want to put the girlfriend label on it? Because I'm still very like, you're friends. And then you date, you go
Yeah.
on dates, and then you become boyfriend, girlfriend. And so I remember just being so, I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean, girlfriend? And then I didn't want to put a label on it right away. Because once you put a label on a relationship, you're either getting married or you're breaking up and never talking again. And so I was really afraid to put any sort of label on it.
Were you kissing yet? Was that still something that you guys had like said we're not? Like, did you kiss when you're like, I want to be your girlfriend? Or when I want to be your boyfriend?
Like,
I don't know when our first
remember
kiss was.
We were hanging out in my room, and I don't know if we had put a label on it or not. But I remember I was like, when are you going to kiss me? I was very frustrated. I was like, when are you going to kiss me? Can we just do this already?
And so
And then
did
we
you kiss her?
kissed. Yeah, and then we kissed.
Was this kiss awkward? Was it amazing?
It
Honestly,
was a good kiss.
I don't know. It's all such a blur. Like, I don't know. Do you guys, when you look back on your relationship early on, is it a blur for you? Or is this just like postpartum? Like, am I just postpartum fog?
I don't know why. I vividly remember.
I vividly
a lot.
remember it.
Like, if you-
Because also, let me just say this. We hadn't dated anybody else. So every experience we were experiencing was like the first
Yeah.
and only. So everything was like earth shattering. Also, we had those teenager hormones. Everything was like earth shattering. Everything.
I remember sitting next to Abby in the movie theater on
I
our
remember
first
this
date,
so vividly,
and
too.
my heart was pumping so fast because I put my arm around her. And I was like, my arm is on a girl. Like, you know the scene? You know the scene from Inside Out where it's like, girl.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
can't
Like
tell
at the
we're in
end,
a lot of Pixar
and the
movies.
guy is just like stunned that he's like next to a girl. Like, that was me, bro. Like, I was just like, this is so sick. Like, I did not know.
Likewise, once
Yeah.
he put his arm around me, I was like, I'm gonna put my arm on his leg. And so then I was like, but
And when-
I thought the thought, but then I had to do it. And then I was like, where's the right time? I was waiting for like a right time in the movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't paying attention to the movie at all. Put my arm on his leg, and then I like got stuck there because I was like, I'm certainly not gonna move now. And so I remember like my hip literally got like so sore because I was like, I literally can't move at this point. And so then like I remember all these like details so vividly because it was literally our first everything.
What was a moment like that for you guys?
I don't know if we had a moment, but one of my favorite stories is
no.
when she accidentally said "I love you" first.
Yeah.
So I was
I was
literally
waiting for him to say it.
yeah, I dropped her off at her house and
Bye, love you.
Yeah, she just
And
said
then
bye, I
was
love
like,
you.
Never mind. I did not just say that.
Just that she like literally covers her mouth. Oh, I didn't mean that. I'm so sorry. Bye.
It just kind of slipped out. It was true, but it slipped out.
That's so funny.
I don't know if we like had a moment where like I was, I don't know. Like,
What about
oh
the
my gosh.
proposal?
I was
That was
very
really
nervous
sweet.
about that because she was like, okay, all I want is to be surprised, but you're not going to be able to surprise me, but that's all that I want. I'm like,
Because I'm a
okay.
little detective.
Yeah, she
You had
asked
talked
the
about
most.
this though. Like, you guys had talked about getting married, so it wasn't like he blindly just proposed on a whim.
Yeah.
Also, it's so embarrassing to go into ring shops and then they'll be like, oh, how long have you guys been together? And we're like, 5 months. It was like so embarrassing. But apparently that's actually it's a lot more common than I thought it was. But I remember like, I was like, please don't ask me that. I really don't want to answer it. But I had no regrets. I knew I wanted to marry him.
What type of ring did you pick out?
There
Let's
we go.
see it.
Yeah,
Oh!
it's like,
So
I don't
pretty.
know.
Is that a solitaire? What type of cut is that? Is that oval?
Oval,
it's
yeah.
Nice.
Honestly, I'm not like a huge, like, so when we got married, my wedding band was just like a cheap Amazon wedding band. So like
Let's
I wanted
go.
the engagement ring to be real, but the wedding band, I was like, I don't care. And it was like a $16 ring off Amazon. So like whenever you're asking about the cut and stuff, I'm like, I don't even know. I think this one's pretty.
I love
Yeah.
that you said that because we were in the same boat. We were balling on a budget, and I was reading a lot of books by Dave Ramsey. So my ring, like I went
love
all out
Dave.
for Abby's. It was a diamond substitute. It's a moissanite ring, but
Right.
for my wedding band, it was literally I made it a goal to find the cheapest wedding band I could find that was like metal, and I got a titanium black wedding band for $5, and it took like a month to ship
And it
from
was
China.
$10 to ship it.
No, it was $5. I think the shipping might have been like $1.
No, I
think
thought the shipping was more.
You know what? Maybe the ring was $5 and the shipping was also like $5 or $6. But yeah.
Mine's $12 from Amazon.
Let's
so,
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You just need to get it tattooed on your finger.
I should. I probably should.
Just say
Would
Abby.
you ever?
Probably. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For
Okay.
sure. A tattoo. That's kind of sick. Because then if it ever
Dude,
falls
please
off,
do that.
I'll do it. Because I lost my ring. I have multiple silicone rings because I work out.
Probably would
sometimes.
hurt a lot though.
And one of the silicone ones, I was surfing in Hawaii last week and it fell off in the ocean. Sorry. Okay. I got distracted. Beautiful ring, by the way.
Proposal. Were you able to surprise her?
I was. Yeah. So we knew we were talking about getting married and stuff. And so she got kicked out, not kicked out, but kind of her roommate was getting married. And so
Okay.
she had to find a new place to live.
Yeah.
And so we were looking at a place that I could potentially move into after we got married. We went to the apartment that you were going to move into. I invited her best friend from California and her parents to come. And I just organized it so that I was like, oh, hey, they need us to go in and like sign something for the lease or something along those lines. And I was like, oh, hey, we should take a picture because we're getting our first apartment together. So like, if you want to put on makeup or something, go ahead and do that because we'll take a picture. And so just inside of the apartment that we were going to live together, I don't even remember if it was balloons or what it was, but it was just, will you marry me up against the wall and a bunch of rose petals and stuff.
In case you didn't know, I have ADHD.
Oh
Is
my
anybody
gosh.
shocked?
Everyone is like, we've heard you say this.
I found out officially last year by using ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. You can book in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and who are highly rated by verified patients. Appointments made through ZocDoc happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. And I can attest to this because when I got a concussion and I got on a ZocDoc appointment, I'm pretty sure that one was same day. If it wasn't same day, it was
It
within
was same
24.
day.
Okay, same day. The doctor was very helpful. I use ZocDoc and you should too. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/unplanned to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/unplanned. ZocDoc.com/unplanned.
Do you remember that when I first walked in, because I thought
Yeah.
I thought we were signing the lease. So I'm over here with a measuring tape and I'm like, okay, I need to know the dimensions of each room. And so I walk in with a measuring tape. And so I walk immediately, so there's a hallway as soon as you walk in. And then it's like if you keep going straight, there's the living room. But if you make the first right, it's the master. So I immediately go into the master bedroom. I'm measuring. I'm like doing all this stuff. He's probably in the living room dying.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, I'm about to ask this girl to marry me. And she's measuring the closet.
And then I
That's
think
so
you even told
funny.
me, she's like, what are you doing? Like measure, do you need the measuring tape? Go measure the
Oh.
laundry room
'Cause
because
he kept
we needed a
wanting me to-
washer and dryer. And
He kept wanting me to go to the living room, and I was like, do you need the measuring tape or something? Like, I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah.
Which I felt so bad. And then I walk out, and there's just like
if you've seen the video of it, I could watch her reaction 100 times over.
I was just like jumping for joy. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw a little camera. There's like a door to the balcony, and I just see a camera there. And so I thought it was going to be my friend Diana that lives in Pittsburgh. So that's who I was thinking. I had no idea he flew out, my best friend from California. So
No
yeah.
way.
And then my parents were hiding in the laundry room.
No
It
way.
was really, really sweet. We honestly haven't even talked about the proposal a ton on
You
social
haven't?
media.
Yeah, we haven't. No,
Yeah.
not really.
We haven't got there yet. We like just started posting full-length YouTube videos. So,
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so cool. Okay, so with the proposal, since you guys got engaged 5 months after meeting, was there any friend or family member that was like, "Are you guys sure? Like, is this like a good idea? You just met?"
I was shocked that I did not get pushback. That's why my family was all for it. They were just thankful that I like, found
You want to tell them the story about when I first met your dad, though? Do you remember that?
No, I
No,
don't.
so I mean, I was obviously they live in like near Pittsburgh, up in Pennsylvania, so it was
Okay.
a long drive, and so I knew heading up there, it's like, okay, this might be the only time I ever see them before I potentially propose.
Yeah.
But yeah, first night we were in there, and your dad was like, "What's your name again?" It's Alex. Oh, I'll probably forget it.
He did say that.
I was like, "Oh, okay." Like,
Wow.
but like, he's awesome. We have a great relationship, and like,
I don't think he figured that it was going to end in a marriage in like 6 months, but it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many dads really do think that, oh, boys coming here, they're going to get married like 6 months from now?
How
Yeah.
soon did you meet her parents after everything?
Was it around Thanksgiving that we went up there, maybe? I think it was like a week after Thanksgiving.
Were
Before
we dating at that point?
we had to have been. I wouldn't have gone up there if we weren't dating. So I think it was, it was probably about a month before I proposed.
Wait, I have a question for you. Are you an oldest child?
The youngest.
Youngest. Okay, you have like oldest child energy though, I would say.
Oh,
because
thank
it's like
you.
you knew what you wanted. You're like gonna find a way to I think that should be more normalized. You being able to set your own dating standard, your own standard for relationships, while still like encouraging them to take the lead, which I feel like what you did. You're like, this is what I want. If this isn't something that you're okay with or capable of, then it's just not a good fit. And I feel like that takes so much confidence, especially as a female, to like set that standard. And I feel like a lot of people could learn from that. I don't know. Or like also just like be inspired by your confidence and like enter dating with that same type of attitude where you're like, hey, I'm allowed to like set my standard, and like anyone that falls short of that, it's like, it's not a good fit. Because I feel like a lot of girls feel like, okay, this person showed interest in me, I need to just like see where this goes. And it's like there's something to that, but then there's also, you're allowed to have like a high standard for yourself and to like not feel naggy or pushy or like annoying for that. And I admire you a lot for that.
Aw, thanks.
And
I just wasn't trying to waste any time either, because
Right.
I was 25, 26, and I also know we want a huge family, or at least I've always wanted a really big family. You agree on that.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, like I started doing math in my head, and I was like, okay, like I kind of gotta get married soon if I want to have 9 kids. I'm just joking. I don't actually want
She did always say, oh, I want 9 kids. I knew it.
Shoot for the
partially
moon.
knew it was.
We slowly just
yeah.
keep dropping it, and then it was 6, and then it was 5, and then the LeBrant family has 5, and like they literally need an entire van, because you think like you have to travel with 5 kids, 2 parents, but then what if your kids have friends that they also want to come?
All
So then
gear.
they basically drive a school bus, and so I was like, maybe not 5, so maybe 4. I think 4 is probably where we're gonna end up being.
aw.
Did that number lower after you had your first?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I always knew that like you wanted a lot, but I was also like, I feel like once we get into the ringer, you know, get into the ring a little bit, so it'll probably go down, but we'll see.
I cannot believe that I had a kid. Like I just, in my brain, I'm just like not there. Like I know that she's here and I love her, and I'm just like, I don't know, I like forget. Do you remember your pregnancies, and like is it still so surreal to be like, oh my gosh, like I had kids?
That feeling that you're talking about, what I remember feeling that the most when I had just had my first son, and I was in the hospital, and they kept calling me mama. I was like, it honestly, I can't relate to this now, but it icked me out. Like I was like, ugh, like that's not me. I'm not mom. Like don't talk, like, please speak to my mother. She's mom. Like
Yeah.
I felt really uncomfortable with all the nurses and doctors being like, hey mama. And I was like, oh, like I just remember that panic it sent through me. And then even them calling him dad, I was like, stop, no, it's not that. It's not us. It can't be. And then it started to settle in so much more. It definitely took some time though. It's like, it's all I ever wanted. But all of a sudden being given that name, I think you're like, the gravity of the responsibility just kind of smacks you in the face. You're like,
Oh yeah.
oh, okay, wait a minute. But I still want my mom. Like,
Yeah. Was that weird for you guys when you first became parents to have the title mom, dad?
it did not hit me that we were even having a kid until they told me that I needed to push. Like the whole time, I think I was so afraid because people only talk about the negative, the negative side of birth and all of the things that could go wrong. So I was straight up in survival mode. I only was like, okay, I was like, I don't know. I was going to therapy. I was like doing all this stuff because I was so afraid of it. And then
you're so afraid of giving birth?
Yeah, like giving birth. And so I was just focused on the birth part. And like, I was like, okay, I just have to get through it. And then they told me to push and they were like, we can see her hair. Like, I don't know. It was just, sorry if that's a little too graphic.
Heck no.
But they were saying that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, like in 5 minutes, I'm going to be a mom. And so I started crying because it
only took 5 minutes?
Well, it all happened so fast. I think I only pushed for 30 minutes. So yeah, it was just the craziest experience. And so I had a very short window to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to be a mom. So maybe that's why it still hasn't really hit me, because she's 7 months right now. And we have to start thinking, all right, like, do we want 2 under 2? Like, when do we start? Because like obviously that's a 9 or 10 month process. And I'm like, I can't believe I just did it once and now I'm supposed to do it again.
Having a baby, was that the initial plan? Like, did you guys get pregnant by surprise? Was it all completely planned out?
So I was just so afraid. Like, that's like such a huge part of my story, that I was so scared. But we knew that we wanted a kid, but I didn't want the responsibility of the timeline and everything. So we sort of just started to not use precaution, and then I just got pregnant right away.
No way.
Yeah.
So like we didn't, like, we talked about it obviously, but we weren't like, okay, let's start trying to have a kid. It was just like, oh, if it happens, it happens.
Tracking.
We honestly, like, she was, just because she was so nervous about it, she's like, honestly, I would rather like it be sort of a surprise, because then it's not in our hands. Like, we know that it's God's will for it to happen, and it just sort of takes some of the pressure off. Like, we weren't the ones that did this type of thing.
So you're fearful of pregnancy, birth, or all of it?
Mostly birth. So my mom had a really bad experience with me. Like, she almost died. They had like a priest come in, give her last rites, and then my grandma also almost died. With my mom, they did a C-section and they cut open. I might tell the story wrong, but from my understanding, they cut open an artery and forgot. They sewed her up, but they didn't sew that up. So my mom has O negative blood, which is the rare blood, and so she was bleeding like internally, and they didn't know. And so like there's like so much that happened with my birth, and so like my entire life I've heard that story. And then my grandma, she hemorrhaged, I think, or something, and again was bleeding internally, and they didn't catch it right away. And so both my grandma and my mom had these near-death experiences where my grandma says that she remembers very vividly that when she was on the hospital bed, she saw herself, what was it? She was at the edge of the bed looking at herself on the table because she had lost so much blood. And so like that was like her near-death experience. And then my mom said that she was getting really hazy, and all of a sudden she starts seeing all of these clouds above her head. So that is the story that I've heard about birth my entire life. So for me, I'm like, am I going to die? Like, the birth was so scary. That's all I heard. So as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I called a clinic because I was crying. I was like, I just found out I'm pregnant, because there's no turning back. Like you're in this, like you're giving birth. And so I called a clinic, and luckily they set me up with counseling to like kind of get over some of this fear. I started working with a pelvic floor therapist, like to really prep and just make sure that I don't know, you can only control so much, because a lot of birth is just all about surrendering. But I wanted to make sure that what I did have control over, I did everything correctly. Like, they helped with the fear around it. And so by the end of it, I was actually kind of ready, but I was still obviously scared, because you don't know, like, you could get to the end of your birth and the baby could flip and they could say, oh, you need a C-section. But I did not prepare for a C-section.
But you had a really good experience still.
I had an amazing experience. Like, it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, and you, like, even just above you wanting to have your own really good experience with pregnancy, you also wanted to do it because you knew that you had a platform, and just so many of the stories out there are so negative with giving birth.
Yeah, I feel like, and I understand everyone wants to share their bad experiences. Like, that's okay, because that's valid. It's real. That stuff does happen. But I do wish that more people shared the positive ones. Like I had the best experience ever. Our doctor was incredible. I thought I was gonna have to be induced, but I didn't. I went into natural labor, like spontaneous labor. All of the nurses were so sweet and so kind. I got the epidural on time. I didn't feel a thing. Very minor tearing, great. Like everything was just so amazing. And I'm like, I wish more girls would hear that side of birth.
Okay, yeah. Talk to me about that, because I noticed you shared that your water broke. We never experienced that. Abby was induced with our first because our baby was measuring very big. What was it like to have your water break?
It's a great story.
The craziest thing. So she was almost 42 weeks. So I went almost 42 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I felt a lot of pressure to be induced, and I did not, because that's where you hear a lot of the complications sometimes, where you go in to be induced, but your body wasn't exactly ready to have that baby yet. So the induction doesn't quite work. I don't know. Everyone has a different experience. But a part of my fear, I was like, I do not want to be induced at all. And so we scheduled an induction because our doctor recommended it. This is the day before we're supposed to go and get induced. And I'm on the phone with my doula. I was like, what happens if we just don't show up? Like what do they do?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I also didn't want to go beyond 42 weeks because obviously there's risks with that. And so I actually call one of my friends who's a labor and delivery nurse, and I'm talking to her, and all of a sudden it felt like I peed myself. I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm standing in the bathroom, on the phone, I was pacing because I was just nervous. And it was the craziest experience. And so I didn't want to sit on the toilet because I was like, if I go on the toilet, I'm going to convince myself that I did just pee. And so I just stand up, and just every so often it was just a gush of water. It's the craziest. Honestly, I could do that a million times again. It was the craziest, most satisfying feeling.
That's crazy.
It felt good. So your water breaking felt good.
It was just the weirdest sensation. And so I'm also on the phone with a labor and delivery nurse, and I was like,
okay.
I think my water just broke. And I was like, either that or I just peed myself. And so she's over here yes, girl, your body's exactly, you're having this baby. And she's cheering me on. And so at least I didn't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
Was she pretty big then for being 42 weeks?
No, her head was actually, so I pushed while at 7 centimeters, which isn't normal.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Her head was just tiny. And so it was actually such a weird experience because we had all of these nurses coming in because no one had ever seen anything like this.
How did they know that you were ready to push at 7 then?
Because so basically they kept doing the cervical checks, and they came in and they said, you're only 7 centimeters, but you're ready. Her head is out of.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So she just had a tiny head.
Yeah. Just a very small head. It was just.
I've never heard that.
No,
ever.
and neither did the nurses. So
they were really confused. They were like, we don't know what to do. And they just kept on going out of the room and back in. They're like, we've never seen this before.
You never got to a 10.
Never. No. And so they said I was at 7, but they could stretch me to be I was out of 7, but they could stretch me to be a 10. And they were like, we've never seen this before. And so, people just kept coming in and out of the room.
Just try to push, see what happens.
Well, so they called the doctor, and the doctor was like, because the doctor doesn't want to come in if you're not ready to push.
Yeah.
And so the doctor, they call her. We had to wait probably, another hour or something for the doctor to come in. And the doctor looks and was like, yeah, I think you're ready. I think you're going to do it.
That is wild.
Yeah. It was the craziest thing. And then we used the mirror whenever I was pushing.
No
That's
way.
Crazy.
I recommend.
Did you feel anything?
I felt a lot of pressure. I was so afraid of tearing too. That was the other thing. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this. I was so afraid of ripping up. And so I was just protect the area. And I was just so afraid. But it all just worked out great. I had that mirror there, so I was actually able to watch her come out, which was
that's crazy.
It was the craziest experience, especially because she had a full head of hair, and so you could just see the baby's head. And
oh my gosh! Well,
Alex,
we have totally different birth experiences. I'm envious of your experience.
Well, because you had a C-section for both, right?
Just for my second.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it didn't look like that. Let's just say that.
Our baby got stuck, so it was a little scary.
But she's had a positive.
But
Let everyone have positive.
Yeah.
I love when I hear that story too, though, because it's even so many things. The scary stories are sensationalized in a way. I don't know. But they're also real, so they should be told. But it's good to always be positive having babies. It should be always just ultimately, I always make sure we end our birth story by saying that ultimately this was the price and I would pay it in double every single time over. But yeah, you were asking Alex.
Yeah, Alex, what was your experience when Courtney's water broke?
I thought it was kind of gross. Well, I had to clean it up.
There
but-
was water everywhere. And then I was like, leave it. It's a souvenir.
Yeah.
It's a
So
souvenir.
luckily we did have a doula. So like I didn't have to do a lot of the heavy lifting as far as making decisions, you know? And so our doula was sort of walking us through, you know, when to go into the hospital. I went and picked up a couple Subway sandwiches for both of us when her water broke. And I don't know, just sort of stayed by her side and eventually just made the call to go. But man, I was ready to go. I was sick of waiting. I'm sure you were more than me, but
I'm sure by the time that fourth baby comes, you're going to have like 30 minutes notice and you're just going to have to go if that is how your first
yeah.
went.
Well, we lived 45 minutes away from the
Oh my
hospital
gosh.
though, so we did
Oh my
have to
gosh.
plan it out a little bit.
And
Wow.
from the moment my water broke to the time she came out was only 16 hours, which is pretty fast for a first time. So I'm like, the second one, I'm kind of scared. I'm like, is it going to speed up with every kid? Because I heard it
Probably.
does. Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know. Our neighbor, her fourth was like her longest.
And is
I
it
was shocked by
true?
it, but he was also a huge baby.
Is it true that you listened to rap music while you were pushing?
Well, just anything that I could. It was like rap or musicals. Like, oh yeah, I had the Greatest Showman on like the whole time. I just and we had. Maybe you could tell this story. You were very frustrated.
Yeah,
with me.
because okay. So she's been pushing for a long time to get on Spotify and stuff like that.
I'm not
so
a
we,
Spotify
Yeah,
girly.
so we added her and she just like didn't really know how to use it. And so I was telling her like, yeah, get your labor and delivery playlist ready. Well, she put maybe 10 songs in there and she only liked about 5 of them.
And they
so
were really
she kept
slow.
on getting mad at me for not having music because she's just in so much pain
Yeah.
with the contractions. And I'm just like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, so I'm like trying to find different music and stuff that she might like. And half of it, you're just like, no, this is what I want. I want it to be fast paced. I want it to be like a musical.
I
and-
needed to know the words. Like whatever
Yeah.
it was, I was like, I need to know the words because then that way it like distracted me. But like the songs that I had on there were like very slow worship music. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is terrible.
You didn't know what you like. How are
Yeah.
you supposed to know what you're gonna want in that moment, though? You thought that maybe worship music would do well, but you
No.
you hated that.
You need fast paced music. You need to pretend like you were in a concert. You need to completely just forget about the world. And now you are officially the main character of The Greatest Showman.
What's the song? Like, what's the song that you were like, yes, this is what I needed?
You listened to what's the musical
A
again?
Week
Is it
Away was like the biggest
that,
thing.
and then is it? Man, I can't even think of it. The one with the president.
Hamilton?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Alexander
there was a lot of
Hamilton.
A rap from Hamilton.
Yeah, there was so much Hamilton. Like, I think I sang the entire thing.
Any High School Musical in there?
I actually don't think so. No.
Okay.
Maybe a couple, but there wasn't.
There should have
wasn't
been
too
next
much.
time.
Describe the feeling of holding your baby for the first time.
Oh my gosh, I was crying like crazy because I had 30 minutes to realize, oh my gosh, I am now a mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, we have her for the rest of our lives. I was like, there's no going back now. But it was so crazy. I think I just remember I couldn't see her face. So they put her on your chest, but so like I'm looking down and all I'm seeing is her head. So like the entire time that I don't know, like while I was pushing, I never saw her face. I only saw her hair. And then when they put her on my chest, the same thing. It was like I just kept seeing her hair. So there's a video out there of when they first put her on my chest. I just kept saying, I was like, I can't see her face. I can't see her face. And finally a nurse like picked her up so I could actually like look at her. I was like, oh my gosh, she's the cutest little thing. She was born right before Christmas. So she was our little Christmas baby.
Wait a minute. This just jogged my memory. In your YouTube video, you said you
Wait,
gained
this is
8
good.
pounds when you were pregnant.
Okay. So a lot of people are really, really confused about that.
That really confused me, actually.
Okay, so what I meant was I gained, like, after 6 or 8 weeks of the pregnancy, like, after I had already given birth, I had kept on 8 pounds. I think a lot of people thought that I meant, like, during the, because I don't count, like, 30 pounds that you have isn't even your weight. Like, you're not putting that weight on. That's the baby, you know? Like, the baby weighs, like, what? 8 pounds, and then there's amniotic fluid,
So
and then
you
your
were
boobs
up
are growing.
8 pounds after 8 weeks.
Ah, okay.
Oh, so are you talking like the first trimester?
I don't know. In your
Okay.
video, you said you gained 8 pounds when you were pregnant, and then you lost 5.
Yeah,
I was like,
because I know
wait
a lot
minute.
of women like gain like 50, 60 pounds.
I
so
was like, I gained like
was
45, I think.
Okay, so I guess I just maybe I track it differently. So I remember my first trimester, I was so sick that I was eating around the clock. And so within 8 weeks, I had already gained like 8 pounds or something like that. So I went to the doctor because I was like, hey, because the only way to cure my nausea was to eat. So I was eating around the clock. So I'd gained so much weight so fast that the doctor was like, we're going to get you on Zofran. And then the rest of my pregnancy, that's not even my weight. That's your boobs are growing, amniotic fluid, your baby's growing. And so I don't know how much I actually gained at the end, like when I was at 42 weeks. I don't know what I was then, but I just know, about 6 to 8 weeks after, I was still 8 pounds up. And then as the time went on, I was like, okay. And now I'm somehow, oh my goodness, I'm now, I think 7 pounds lighter than I was when I first got pregnant. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with my weight, but I think I just tracked it differently. People were very confused. They thought by the end, like at 42 weeks, that I had only gained 8 pounds. And I was like, oh, no.
I was like, how much is this baby weight?
I just don't consider it my weight. Like, I didn't gain 40 pounds.
That's the way you should look at it.
Yeah. And so, but a lot of people do track it that way. So, there was a lot of comments, actually, that I probably should have addressed that.
Alex, you've said before that during the birth, you felt very hopeless and helpless. And I feel like a lot of guys can relate to that. What did that helplessness feel like while Courtney is literally giving birth to your child?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think most guys, you have that masculine urge to protect and watch over your wife. And so there's nothing that I can do for her that's really going to make her feel better or take any of that pain away. And on top of that, we had a doula who was a lot better at things than I was. And so, I mean, I was always by her side trying to be a calming presence in the room. But at the end of the day, I knew that I couldn't do anything for her besides just give her some of that moral support and encouragement. And I mean, it's just hard to see the person that you love the most in the world suffer to a certain degree.
Yeah, those contractions are no joke, but the epidural is amazing.
For sure.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, one of my biggest jobs was just during the epidural and stuff, just trying to keep her calm and stuff, even though the doula was doing the same thing. But because I know that needle was a little bit scary.
Oh, I was so scared of the epidural. But again, amazing. We had this old lady named Rhonda, and she was the cutest little thing, and she was the one who gave me my epidural, and she's like, honey, I've been doing this for 50 years. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
you're just crying
Rhonda.
out, where's Rhonda at? I need Rhonda.
Aww.
And then Rhonda came. Yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about birth and your love story, but now you guys are parents. What has that life change been like?
It's a transition, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, because I've never I don't know. I feel like I've worked freelance for so long that I'm not used to a lot of structure. And so the fact that with a baby, there's so much structure. There's so much timing out, like when she needs to eat, when she needs to sleep. So it sort of wrecked my world a little bit because this is just like all so new to me. And I'm still I feel like by the second kid, I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to get it. But first kid, I struggled a bit. But it's so fun. It's like the best.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better daughter. I mean, she's amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's just a transition. We're both working at home, and so throwing a kid into the mix, it's just different, and trying to balance that all out. And I mean, it's such a blessing that we both get to stay home and spend a ton of time with her and stuff. I've also never had a desire to be a stay-at-home dad, and so just like, trying to balance that work and watching a kid. Sometimes that's a little bit harder, but it's such a blessing. I get to spend so much more time with my daughter than the average dad does.
Yeah. Do you kind of feel like a stay-at-home dad? Like that must be
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but like she does some things that I cannot do, especially with editing. And so she needs to work sometimes. And so sometimes I need to watch our daughter. And again, it's a blessing. It's super fun, but also I want to get work done.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that sometimes content creation is a full-time job.
Yeah.
And so also being a mom is a full-time job, or being a dad. And so, we're trying to, I can't say that we are experts by any means. Like, we're still trying to figure out, like, how do we balance both working, but then also being with our kids. So we basically just, like, we keep taking turns where it's like, hey, I have to work. Like, can you watch Aspen, or vice versa?
Yeah.
And she changes so fast too that the game plan changes all the time too, as to, her needs. Like now that she's crawling all over the place, you can't really get any work done if you're watching her. And
she loves cords. She loves to eat them. Phone cords are her favorite. Like even today, Alex was like, it's in her mouth, it's in her mouth. Like you turn around for 1 second and she will crawl as fast as possible toward an outlet.
What's been the most surprising thing being a dad? Like something that you didn't expect with fatherhood?
Honestly, it took me longer to feel like I built a connection with Aspen. Like it just took a lot longer. I thought that, when she was born, it was just going to be instant. Oh my goodness, this is my child. This is my daughter.
Yeah.
And it took a while. because we talked about this a little bit off the camera, but I don't know, she wasn't very fun when she was first born. Like I love playing with kids. Like I was a PE teacher. Like I like to do things.
Yeah.
I like to make kids laugh and stuff like that. And here's
She was
this
a little potato.
Yeah, there's this child that just cries and just sits there.
Yeah.
And so it just took a while, but now it's so much fun. She's laughing all the time, and so it just took longer than I thought.
It's funny too, because you had your daughter out a little bit ago, and just recognizing, man, she's still so young. Like correct me if I'm wrong, but she's not talking yet. Like she's not saying any words. The change that happens when they start talking and they start walking, and you can actually like physically like kick a soccer ball around with them and have a conversation. It is so cool. So I don't think like you saying that the connection wasn't what you thought it would be initially. I think a lot of dads can relate to that. I can relate to that. Even just like, I remember the moment that our kids started to smile. I was like, oh my gosh, they're smiling, because they don't smile when they come out of the womb right away. Like it takes, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months until I saw even a smile, but
That's
then
a little long, I feel like.
I think maybe it was 3 months. I don't know, but it's just like they have so much development to go through, and so when you're in that season, sometimes you think like, man, I thought it'd be a little bit more fun, and so that's cool that you're already seeing changes and seeing her like grow up.
And on top of that, obviously a baby's going to have a stronger connection to their mom. And so
of course,
it's really frustrating right away when I can't get the baby to stop crying, but mom can.
Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of times I can just be a little bit too performance based, you know, and be kind of hard on myself if I feel like I'm not doing a good job in whatever it may be, whether it's fatherhood, marriage, work. And so that was kind of hard. It's a hard pill to swallow when it's like, I can't get my baby to stop crying. But now just seeing like from across the room, I smile at our daughter and she's going to smile back. Like there's just no better feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best was like, there was a moment where we were like, oh my goodness, like she knows us. Like she can look at us and like we could tell that she recognizes who we are. That is a moment that I remember very vividly, of just being like, oh my gosh, like she knows who we are, which is just so crazy, because I'm sure for a long time, like I don't know, a couple weeks or something, I'm sure it was just blurry for her. Like she couldn't actually see us.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment of like, you're my mom.
And is she eating solids now? Is like, what's that?
We've tried. She does not like any food. Like she
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the texture or what. Like the only thing is bacon. Like she will lick bacon. She loves it. Like I have photos of her just smiling with bacon. But that's like the only thing.
That's
but
cute.
Yeah, as of right now, like we've tried a lot of things. We've tried a lot of purees, a lot of pouches, and she'll put them in her mouth and she just doesn't.
Like she's interested in table food. She'll reach it and try to put it in her mouth, but it doesn't really go down the hatch. It usually all comes back out.
I don't think it tastes the way she thinks it's going to.
Yeah.
And so she just has this like really grossed out face like every time she tries anything. Maybe we just need to like keep trying it over and over again, and then maybe she can get used to it. I don't know.
I know like a big topic for parents is like, do you show your kid Miss Rachel before they're like a certain age? Have you guys set any like hard and fast rules?
She's only 7 months, so probably not.
We haven't talked about it really, but we've set her in front of a screen very, very, very minimally, maybe only less than 10 times for sure. Like put something on the TV.
Which is probably why she can't sit up.
Yeah.
Like, cause like if she doesn't watch a screen, like she's crawling all over the place.
Yeah.
Like her entertainment is the things that are around.
Totally.
But honestly, there's a lot of things with parenting that I had an opinion on before I had a kid, and now it's just changing.
Yeah.
And so right now I'm kind of anti-iPad, but I think that might change.
My sister said the same thing, where it was a lot easier with one kid, where it's, oh, we're going to limit screen time until a certain age and all that stuff. But then, you know, pop out a third kid and she's like, oh, sometimes you have no choice. You need to get something done. You're going to put a movie on so you can clean the house or cook dinner, whatever the case is.
I totally hear that, because I was so anti-screens, but now our son's about to turn 2, and like one of my favorite things to do with him will be like watch a movie together, because he'll actually sit on my lap the entire time and we just cuddle. Special. And there's no other time that he'll stay still. Like he's so active. I think he probably might have gotten ADHD from me. Like this kid is just like so hyperactive, but he'll actually like chill out and just like sit on my lap and we'll just cuddle and watch a movie. And it's the sweetest thing. So I'm like that. I feel like we bond so much having that like that contact, just like us holding each other. You can't just like put a blanket term on something and say like it's all bad. You can never do a movie for your kid, you know?
And you probably look back and miss some of those days where, you know, your kids did just snuggle up next to you or fall asleep on you. And so while it is for the dads mostly like a lot more fun at each stage, it's just like, okay, still got to really cherish these moments because Aspen's not going to fall asleep on my arms very much longer, you know?
What's the future going to look like for you guys? When do you think you might go for a second one? Because I know you said you want a big family.
Honestly, we need to figure it out, actually. Time's ticking. Like, I kind of have to do the math here and be like, okay, like, I don't have forever. Even though some people do think that they can have kids, you know, in their late 30s. But I'm just like, I don't know. Time's ticking.
Yeah, we've been taking it a day at a time. Like we know that we want more kids, but we'll know when it's the right time.
Honestly, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just do exactly what we did the last time.
Yeah, maybe.
We're just like, okay, we're just going to try it and we're just going to have another one.
There's no rush on anything. Seriously. People have kids at all different types of ages.
Well, people.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I feel like it gets harder or there's like complications. But then there's mixed information on that. Some people say that there are no complications, but then it's like.
There's a crazy statistic. Don't quote me on this, but women that have babies after 35 live longer. There's some statistic about that. Like if they have at least one baby post the age of 35, they like have a much higher likelihood to live to like a higher age.
Interesting.
I have to find that. Should I just look it up so I don't get like my
This
phone's
is
over
what
there?
we need somebody off camera.
Someone put the statistic in the comments because I know there's some type of statistic about like them living longer. It makes sense to me because I'm like, a mom is going to do what they have to do to take care of their baby. So if you have kids later in life, you're going to live long. I really feel like you could will yourself to live longer just so you can be there for your children.
Yeah, you might feel like you have like a greater sense of purpose for longer when you're, you know, taking care of your kids.
That maternal instinct cannot be questioned. I'm not even kidding. It's strong.
Well, Courtney and Alex, thank you again for coming on Unplanned. Where's the best place for people to stay in touch with you guys?
So we are the Quist family on almost every platform: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and then our Instagrams are separate. So mine is Courtney Quist _ and his is Alex Quist _
You guys are such a lovely couple.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us
This
on.
was so fun.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys.